I was doing pressure washing on sidewalks. I was a bartender, security guy at a local club. And I even helped out painting houses sometimes.
Ugh.
Yeah, I had like 3 jobs, and I was training full time and not sleeping and almost in the UFC at that point.
So that's pretty much the last time you worked for somebody then, huh?
Yeah. To be the last person that, aside from like Dana, like people, the UFC, that's been the last people I've had to report to and like actually have bosses. You know what I mean? Like since then I've been with AK Thailand obviously and been my own boss, but the UFC is different. You're still kind of an independent contractor, so it's not like you have a boss breathing down your throat all the time. And I had a good relationship with Dana. But for my last actual bosses, it was pretty, I was my own boss as a pressure washer, but at the Vaults. The Vault was the name of one of the clubs in San Jose.
Never been there.
And then when I was painting houses and stuff, I had like a boss, and it wasn't a nice thing. I didn't like it. I knew right then that I for sure was going to do enough face punching to get me out of that predicament.
So you don't like having a boss?
I don't like having a boss, no.
Do you think I do?
You probably don't, no.
You know who my
Especially
boss
since
is?
It's me, yeah. I think you have the best boss.
I can't believe you haven't fired me yet.
I have.
Did you tell me?
From the kitchen.
Well, no, because that was running so smoothly. You had to use my talents elsewhere.
I transferred you.
Yeah, that's not a firing I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, to anyone else it would have been a firing, but for you, you just got transferred like 20 times.
And a pay raise. So please don't fire me again.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so being on that show, you got to pay your bills at home and all this stuff. Do you get paid? Like, is it
$500 a week.
That's it?
We got paid $500 a week to take the
2004.
sport to the mainstream.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how much. That was how much we
I
got
was always
paid.
curious.
$500 a week, and that was enough to pay. I was living as cheap as possible in San Jose, which San Jose is an expensive ass city, crazy expensive. So, we had all these fighters. That's why we had to work like so much. We had all these fighters moving in from all these different parts. So we're like, I was coming from Texas, where it's cheap, or moving in the Silicon Valley, where it's like all tech companies and like they're making all this money, and we're just fighting, so we're not making any money. And that's where the gym was. So that's what we had to do. We had to grind. We had to work all day, train, sleep like 4 hours, and then do it again.
You shared an apartment with John Fitch?
Fitch, yeah. I was roommates with Fitch for a while. Him and his dog. His dog was so big it was like having a third roommate.
Oh, fun. Who's a better roommate, me or him?
We were roommates longer, and in Thailand.
What the hell does that matter?
Well, I mean, it's a lot different in Thailand.
I used to cook for you. I was a good housewife. Well, that kind of hurts.
You brought food home from the restaurant that we own.
I would cook sometimes.
All right.
All right. Anyway.
I'll say you if that makes you feel better, Mark.
It does. I didn't know I've been fired, so it's kind of threw me off a little
Transferred.
bit.
Did I say? Whatever.
Yeah, it's transferred.
You were transferred, Mark.